Hello everyone. Thank you for joining us in the first in a series of web to print webinars that we're giving to support the Sub Saharan continent. Just give us a few minutes for everyone to settle so they can hear and see us. Then we're going to introduce the speakers today, myself and Jean Lloyd. We're also going to give you an introduction to print within the Sub-Saharan market, followed by what web to print is, also an introduction to what web to print the Vpress offers, followed by a live demonstration. And of course, this whole presentation will be available to download from the contact details on the last slide of the presentation. So just bear with us a few moments while we get everyone settled. Okay, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Jean Lloyd.
Good afternoon. My name's Jean Lloyd. I'm, I guess, a proven digital technology specialist with 20-something years under my belt. I have lived and worked abroad for global technology brands for many, many years. Currently, I train and consult in the Europe, Africa, Middle East region for printers as well as many, many vendors. I focus on industrial inkjet presses, printhead technology, and production print toner devices. I'm a digital print evangelist. Everybody that knows me knows that I'm absolutely passionate about this industry and the opportunities that it presents.
Thank you, Jean. Okay, a little bit about me. My name's Kelvin Bell. I'm the sales director here at Vpress. I'm a proven web to print specialist with about 20 years experience. I've been 19 years of those as a founder partner here at Vpress. I'm an advocate, strong advocate of digital transformation. I believe that is the only way forward for print companies, but I'm open to be challenged. Here in the UK, I am an IPIA council member, the International Print Industries Association, where we believe in supporting print for our members. We're the largest organisation now here in the UK, supporting printers moving forward in these challenging times. And I'm UK based. I'm based in the UK, but under normal conditions, I would travel quite extensively. So that's a little bit about me.
What we're discussing this afternoon is a solution for the print market, a $10.5 billion figure quoted by the South African Print Federation. Thank you for sharing that with us. When we talk about digital transformation, there are 3 stages to this. Medium and long term are nothing new. Short term, creating our new normal. With COVID-19 crisis, the rate of change is set to accelerate exponentially. Now more than ever, it's important for us, all of us, to future-proof our business. There is no going back. Medium-term, automation, which you all know, has been happening in the background with progressive print companies for some time. Long-term, evolution, the presses, processes, and encompassing digital technology are evolving at a faster and faster rate to keep up with customer expectations and demands. The solution for this is a 24/7 secure access to your services for your customers, where it can be available anywhere, anytime, and at the right price for you and for your customer. Here in South Africa, our dreaded word, load shedding, where we have power outages every couple of months, which we've been told are going to go on for a few years. With our web to print solution, you can now stay in contact with your customers wanting to place orders. Ultimately, within the market, our customers have and continue to change what, why, how, and when they want to order print. We focus on the South African market, which is the largest African market. I'm using numbers in this slide that were supplied by a survey conducted for the Print Federation by BMI Research in Q1 2020. before we actually got hit by COVID. Out of approximately 2,000 printers, 40% of the market are members of the Print Federation. We have a strong workforce in South Africa ready to support and be made more efficient by working differently. These are studies and results that came from the survey, where digital is the opportunity for shorter print runs, as well as print on demand and more personalized campaigns. If you have a digital press now, you have a huge advantage. If not, you should be collaborating or partnering with somebody that does. There has never been a better time for digital print, and I say this in all my training and in all my presentations. Right now, digital is flourishing. Expanding your offering is one way, but not the only way. Automation increases efficiency and profitability, which is why we are all here. Customers look online to find you. Online gives the ability to engage 24/7 remotely and non-remotely. This is globally proven to be the way forward. Is your website up to date? Does it give a good impression? Maybe you should all take a look. This is a $3.78 billion market. What is your slice of the pie? Right throughout COVID, one of the messages worldwide have been that web to print is no longer an option. And I can tell you in South Africa, this has taken off. The train has basically left the station. So we need to get on board before we actually left behind. And this is proven by some of the statements that have been made in the press over the last months. Anthony Thunstrom from the Foschini Group, the CEO of the Foschini Group, said that e-commerce made up about 1% of the Foschini Group's turnover at the start of their financial year. It's currently between 5 and 6%. So it's moved them forward by about 3 years. Bongiwe Ntuli agrees, and she's the Chief Financial Officer to the group, and she doesn't see online sales going back. She only sees it escalating further. Then we have Pick n Pay, one of our top retailers. That's the largest online grocery offer in the Sub Saharan African region, and they have about 800,000 registered users. The past 7 months has seen a surge in demand for online groceries in South Africa, and I'm sure a lot of you have been ordering. Together with their franchise partners, they have responded by expanding the number of stores which deliver or offer click and collect services, said Richard Brescher, the CEO. They also partnered with Bottles, which is South Africa's first alcohol and on-demand delivery app, and they're already Sub-Saharan Africa's largest and most popular online grocery business. It has since achieved more than 700,000 downloads and over 350,000 registered users.
Wow, interesting figures indeed, Jean. So we're going to move on to a web to print as an introduction. So just to take the reins for a few moments here. So what do we need to know about web to print? Well, what is it? Web to print is an online presence for you to receive client orders 24/7. It's allowing you to engage with your customers how they want to engage with you, giving you files that you can put on your presses at any time. So it's making sure that your shop is open for business when they want it. Who will use it? Everyone. B2B, business to business, B2C, business to consumer. Everyone's using the internet for everything now, and that is only going to increase. That is a global phenomenon that's been happening over the past few decades. Customers want to move online, and they want to do it when they want to do it. And finally, why do we need to do it? Well, Obviously, the world has changed. If you look at the current pandemic that we're all experiencing at the moment, but as Jean mentioned before, these changes will already happen. We're now remote and we're working strange hours around our lifestyle and around the conditions that are around us. So you need to be able to connect with your customers even when you can't be. So a quick introduction to Vpress and the solution that we offer to the market. We offer an affordable, easy to use, proven solution. It's white labeled, so you can badge it and call it whatever you want it to be. And it works for both B2B and B2C, which I'm going to give you a little insight to in the next couple of minutes. It's mobile responsive. And one of the stats that came up when we were looking to do this presentation today was the fact that currently there's 47 million smartphones in South Africa, 47 million. So the growth rate of people using smartphones to engage with the internet far outweighs the growth of people buying PCs, laptops and Macs to go online. So it really is the future. And our software is international. So it's currently available in 25 languages with multiple currencies and supports fonts for true internationalization. And we can add additional languages if and so required. Also, it comes with VDP, variable data printing. The ability to take data and merge it with a print job means that you don't have to take ownership of your client's data. It means that the client will merge their data with a print job, and then you will have files that are optimized for you to produce. It also has an API, application programming interface. And not to become too technical at this stage, it's merely a way of engaging with other systems should there be a requirement to do so. It's a self-serve solution. You don't need to rely upon us all the time. We train, but we're also there to support you moving forward. So if you win a large customer or you have a large opportunity, then you can call upon Vpress to support you in fulfilling that customer's needs. And finally, it integrates into any MIS or workflow integration. Now, this is quite a broad subject. So you may have an MIS system within your print shop. It may be that you don't. The system can cater for that and allow you to manage those jobs. But it may be that there's a requirement to integrate into some kind of client workflow as well, which we've already done in South Africa. And the system is already compatible. So basically, it will connect to anything. Just to give you some transparency of the kind of organizations that are using this software day in, day out, here are some example brands. Some you probably won't recognize, but some you certainly will recognize because they are global in the way they position themselves. So what I'm going to do now, if you just bear with me, is I'm going to take you through a demonstration. And it's going to be a live demonstration. So I'm just going to share my screen again. And there's nothing quite like a live demonstration on one of these demonstrations. So you actually get to see whether the system is working. And I am online at the moment. So I'll just ask my colleague, Jean, you can see my screen, okay?
I do, I can, yes.
Fantastic. So what we've got here is we've got a login page for corporate web to print. This login page can be anything. You can brand, skin this style up to look like your storefront. You can change the images on there. I've actually got an example here for Wimbledon, tennis organization here in the UK, or there's one there for Colgate in Europe. So this page can look a whole range of different styles and themes. We also support something called SSO, single sign-on, a different way of connecting to a web to print storefront. And we also support something called punch out should you be dealing with a large organization that has its own purchasing system. But we're going to cover off things like that in future presentations when we can go into the product in much more detail. This is just a very basic introduction into what Vpress offer as a web to print solution. I'd like to point out here as well that not only do we do B2B, we also do B2C. And what you can see on screen here is a WordPress site that you can download. You can get a WordPress site for $20 and you can populate that and cover off variable print items and make them available to your B2C and small B2B customers. This again, something we're going to cover off in another presentation in greater detail. For the purpose of today, I'm going to take you through a presentation of a standard storefront. So I've entered a username and password, and I'm just going to enter the last details of my password and click login. Now, I've logged into a branded storefront. It's Vpress. It's a corporate brand there. It can be skinned for your organization or your organization and your customer's organization, which is a good way to work. So a couple of basics on here. This is mobile responsive. So it will adapt and resize itself to any device. There's no real reason for you to have an app to order your print. This is all secure cloud-based, which you can see by the padlock up there, and it's backed up under strict regulation on Data Protection Act. And we're very open to any kind of investigation on how we do that in a more technical discussion. So I mentioned that the portal is mobile responsive. So here I've got lots of different features and functionalities that I can turn on and turn off subject to a customer requiring those features and functionalities. Here I've got folders. In subsequent presentations, we'll show you different themed sites, so you can change the folders, the wording, and the colors. And I can also change things like the top graphic. I don't have to be a computer programmer in order to do this. I can make these amends simply within my browser by being the administrative login of the actual portal. And one further thing as well, just to show you how quick and easy it is to make style changes within the portal. If I come up here and I select this option here, themes. So using the themes option, I can then come to a control panel for an administrator, and I can change just things like buttons. I can drop in a hexadecimal color of a particular button, or I can color pick a nice blue purple type color there. I can see what it would look like, and I can make that button round, or I can make it square. It's a very small feature, this, but what it means is the color on screen can very much replicate the client's brand, which is very difficult, hard to do with colors such as orange and blue. So there's lots of features there. And again, we will cover these off in subsequent presentations, or you can contact myself and Jean on the contact details at the end, and we'll give you a one-to-one presentation. So looking at the categories here, each one of these has a different kind of product range that you can see. So I'm going to start off with the basic, and I'm going to look at stock. So you may have the requirement to manage or edit your stock. So I'm going to go into printed stock, which is quite obviously labeled. And I can see that the system has 6 products there. Should I wish to change the view, I can just click on this option here, and I can make it more Amazon, more eBay in its look and feel with some iconography there. But what I'm going to do is go back to grid because it's easier for me to explain. And it's my personal preference. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on this product here. I can make it a favorite. I can bulk order multiple items. So I could do a pick and pack of printed goods, but I'm just going to order some NCR pads. So I've selected the product I wanted to order by clicking on the image. And what it does, it gives me some description and a product code of that product. It tells me that it comes in a pack of 20 and gives me a drop down of what are available to me. It also gives me the current stock that residing in my print shop. Now that could be managed within the system, or it can talk bi-directionally to some of the MIS systems that are out there. Again, we will come into that into more detail in subsequent presentations. So what I'm going to do, Jean's paying for this order, so I'm going to select 20 packs of 20, and I'm going to add that to my basket. So I very easily, while I've been talking, is I've explained what it is that I've just done, and I've just added them into my basket. Now, many websites can, of course, do that. You know, it's a bit more secure. There's a lot more rules and regulations around it, but you could create your own website to allow them to place orders and have a stock balance that's currently there. What we do is we manage how many people can see those products, how many people can see the volume, and we can manage the volumes that people can order over a given period of time. So it's a much more print orientated system. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to continue shopping, and I'm going to add something to my basket. And in this case, I'm going to add a business card, something really, really straightforward. So I've got 3 examples of a business card there. And the first one that I'm going to pick is a Vpress business card here. So I'm going to create a new business card for myself. So I've got the Vpress business card there. I'm going to type in my name. I'm going to give myself a job title, a telephone number. It brings in the international code. So you can see there, I've dropped in my correct telephone number. I'm also going to put my mobile number. I nearly caught myself out there, not remembering my own mobile number, but that is my correct number. And as I typed the number in, I typed automatically 07855 309 682. I did get my number wrong. It is a live presentation. So what the system did, it corrected it to an international code. As I scroll down there, I can also drop in my address from a drop down, and I've just created a Vpress business card for myself. So I've got the fields that are here that I enter to create the actual product on the left-hand side. And as I'm typing, they're being updated. I can change the view. I can have a PDF, which I'm going to look at in a second. If I'm on a slow connection, I can also manage that as well. What I can also do is I can look at the reverse of the card, which actually just has some spot UV on there and a fixed call to action. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to save that business card. I'm going to give it a title. Give it a label, and I'm going to give it a title 1. I can now save versions of that business card. I could save it for other people. I could create other people a business card with the same address. It's all designed to reduce the number of keystrokes that I'm going to enter onto the keyboard, which is where errors could be made. What I can also do, as I mentioned just before, I could see a PDF of that particular business card. I'm going to open it up. I can see front and back, and can I just check you can see that, Jean?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Zoom sometimes plays tricks on me and stops me doing that. As I zoom right in, you can see it's got my business card. The first thing you'll see is printers. There's no crop or bleed on the actual artwork. That is applied at the production stage once the artwork's been approved. And it also has got a watermark. This is a variable in itself, and this watermark is obviously removed from production, but it could be the name of your business. What you don't want to be doing is providing your customers with a system to create a piece of artwork and then take it to a very low quality print house who won't do a job as good as yourselves. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to order that item. Now it's on the system. So I'm clicking on the order button, and the system is giving me a proof of the card again. I've got 0 there for quantity. I'm going to have it first class delivery. It now applies a cost, and I'm going to order 500 business cards. So these are not real pricing, I hasten to add, and I'm now going to add that to basket. So I've now added my variable business card to basket that you can see there. So I've got 2 different kinds of product. I'm just going to add a third job to that as well, one that's really popular during COVID-19. As in a product that really does help the print industry. So getting jobs from the customer to you can be quite a challenge. So what we've done is we've created a job submission tool as part of the software. So I'm going to come here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to print on demand, job submission, whatever terminology you wish to use. And I'm just going to click this option here. And straight away, I'm taken to a window where I've got 0 price here and it's asking me for some artwork. I'm going to click or drag and drop. I'm going to look at my desktop. Within my desktop, I've got a PDF. So just while it's loading that PDF brochure, we're just adding pre-flighting to that at the moment. So that's something we're just adding to the software. And what I can do is within a range of fields that you or your customer specify, I can specify that I want that 150 gram silk. I want it on craft paper. It's now bringing the cost in, urban grey uncoated, lamination on one side, foiling on one side, spot UV. It's £91 for one. I'm going to order 50. With the efficiencies of scale within the print industry, that's £121 or whatever local currency you wish. And that product has now been added to my basket. All of these 3 products are very basic products. We are going to cover off some really high level complex products as we get further into this series of demos that include VDP, dynamic templating, requests for quotes, and a way of using images through something called a digital asset manager. For now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check my order out. All of this is configurable. So I'm going to put cost center 1234. I can drop in a telephone number. All this information can be managed for the client. This is all configurable. I'm going to have it payable by delivery address is going to be Vpress, but Vpress Scotland is where the invoice is. And I'm just going to attach a little note on there. Please print now. We all know what customers' expectations are. And I'm going to check that order out. So we can also have a payment gateway on there should you want the customer to make payment as required. So a lot of systems actually stop there. Order number 959. I've got 3 products in my basket. An email will come to me now to say thank you for my order. If there's authorization on this business card and Jean is my line manager, she'll receive an email asking her to sign off that business card so we can do multi-level authorization. One of the things that we do that go beyond what a standard web to print system does is we track the order into production. So it could be that you are producing the business card, the NCR pads are coming from another location, and the user upload is actually going to be a manual item that's going to come to one of your staff for them to process the order. So all of these jobs can have a different profile around them. So if I go into reports, and I'm just going to go into order report now, not only can I chronologically search for all the orders over any given time between 2 dates, not only can I search for any keywords or any title, what I can see is I can all see all 3 of those items broken up separately. If I just expand them within this report, what I can see is each one has a unique order line ID and an order line status. So should one of those items go to a different supplier, you can track that because printers are print managers by default. So you can print manage items that are print or actually not print, but you can still have them ordered on the same portal. It's allowing you to engage to a much deeper level with your customer. Within here, I can review any product code. I can review any product name. If I want to just have a quick look at that business card that I ordered, I can click on that and it will open up the proof on screen. So I can check that if there's anything to question in the actual reporting. I can search for anything. I can check any status. If there's MIS integration, we can see the status is updated. Otherwise, the system will update the status when you receive the order. So the customer can basically track their order. And all of this information, even searchable, is available by exporting into Microsoft Excel. So if the customer wants to know how many business cards have been ordered in the last 9 months by the Cape Town address, that is a very simple thing to extract from the system and have in Excel in front of you, should you give them permission to do that. So I'm just going to go back to the home page. So this concludes the basic introduction into Vpress's web to print solution. I really do hope you can join us for the next presentations that we do, where we're going to take a really much deeper dive into the actual product and what it can do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to swap back to the presentation. And, you know, the system's been used for quite some time by some long established companies in the UK. Can I just check, Jean, you can see my presentation?
I can't yet, it's still the screen.
Okay, just bear with me 1 second. That is a Zoom thing, so I will just stop share and reshare. It's always good to check these technical things.
Not yet.
So, okay, yeah.
It's coming, yep, there we go.
So thank you for bearing with me with that little, it shows it's live. It shows it's a live presentation when you get small technical things going there. So what I've done is I've just swapped from Zoom from my browser across to my PowerPoint again. So, you know, who uses the software? Well, in the UK, you know, Precision Protocol, one of the largest print groups that we've got. They've been using the software for around about 16 years. They've just gone through a recent rebrand. But we get really high accolades from our customer base, and we work with our customers for the long term. Pure Print, great print group here in the UK. Big HP house, again, highlighting our innovation and flexibility. Galloway's, a strategic partner at Vpress. They've been using the software for some 10 years, but the company is 150 years old, one of our older print companies here in the UK. And Prism, probably one of our fastest growing customers here, who are just having a phenomenal time of capturing the market. So that concludes myself and Jean here today. We really appreciate you taking the time to listen to us, and we hope you've enjoyed something and you've taken something away. We have a couple of more sessions planned coming up, so get in touch to stay on our mail shot so we can let you know when they are. If you would like a copy of this recording, then again, just get in touch. It's been our pleasure to speak to you and try and help you, show you there's a way forward in this current challenging time. So for me, Kelvin Bell, thank you very much. Jean?
For me, Jean Lloyd, thank you for your time and chat soon.